So, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining. It's the last class of the camp. Happy that you are here after possibly a hard week, but a great week. And yeah, Mike Hartmann from Germany, Frankfurt. Just average black belt, but hardcore globetrotter. So I know a lot of people. I think many of you know me, and we had a good time all together already. And this should be my time to give something back to the community. So enjoy the class. If you have questions afterwards, just grab me at Open Mat. Today it's about deep half guard. In the beginning I want to show you some entries into the position so that after like 15 or 20 minutes you should feel quite comfortable getting there, establish the position, and then we will going to work from that. Mostly it will be sweeps, but I will show you how you can go into attacks by passing the opponent directly. Okay. So in the beginning it's very defensive, but if you get on top, you should immediately attack and you have some nice passes from there. Now, Patty's gonna help me, and yeah, we're gonna start with some entries. First of all, I want to show some possibilities if you manage to get the underhook from half guard. So I give you some examples. After that, we do it without the underhook, and then we look for special situations where you can get deep half. So maybe we start with a high knee shield, with a frame, and before I go for the underhook, I cannot just retread, he will battle back, he will do like the Weaver or something else, and we have a battle for infinity. So I try to break his mobility. The time he needs to come back, I set up my underhook. And you see, I create some momentum by coming on my elbow, which I use to take him with me to the deep half. So I have a strong belt here on the hip, on the belt, and my hand goes inside his thigh. So I take him with me and establish the position on my back. If he stays on his hands and stays in front, there's always easy way to get to the back door. We won't do that today, so keep that in mind, and the guy who maybe loses his stability should immediately come back to his death. Okay? So once again, use the high knee shield, I have the frame here, I break his mobility and get up. At least you should be on your elbow, your hand is fine as well. Yeah? But so I have some momentum to take him with me. And the first thing you should think of now, if you never played with a position, is to hide this hand under his thigh. Because normally he will directly go for underhook and play Americana, Kimura, or whatever. That's what happened to me the first 2 years. So don't be afraid if it happens in the beginning. It takes a really long time that the hand is directly here and the elbow is very tight. So no crossface here, no underhook on this side. Second thing, keep your head high in the beginning. If it's just only on the middle of the thigh, you can either crossface you or use his elbow to press you down. So I want to have my head very close to his hip. Maybe later, even walk a little to his belly and then pull him down so he cannot step over my head. The legs can be kind of loose. You don't have to apply pressure here. Just relax and now feel comfortable. Second option with underhook, you start with a knee shield, and you take the moment you take out your knee to bring your elbow to his hip, and then you circle in your arm. Then the same thing, with the momentum you created, you go to deep half. Firstly, you try to hide your arm, bring your head to his hip, and then maybe get a grip to pull him down. He can't step over my head. Okay? So maybe we start with these two possibilities where we have underhook, high knee shield, no knee shield, and then we go further. Okay? 1, 2. So you can continue to improve, to establish the position. I just want to give a tip for the person on top. The guy on top should be like this. You have your hips deep, and there's like a 90-degree angle. If you are too high, you can go on your toes if you're flexible, because there are some passes where I directly need to come on my feet. But right now it's not that important. So you can be on your toes or flat-feeted, but you have your hips down, and this leg is almost stretched. Okay? And I want to have this angle like 90 degrees. If your angle is smaller, then you fall to your side. So watch this angle on top and watch the correct position. If you don't put the knee to the ground, the guy can go to X-guard or to the back or whatever. So help your partner on bottom to have the correct position over different situations. Okay, now something without the underhook. So if Paddy defending very well and I try to battle for it and I don't get it, it's pretty easy to just grab the belt here. Okay? But I need some more momentum. So I come again on my forearm, and my elbow and forearm on the left is helping me to block him a little. So I can create momentum here as well. And now I have a strong pull to get him above me again. I hide my arm and look for the right head position. I control his weight, and my legs are pretty loose. It's okay like that. Doesn't matter in the beginning. You can't step out. Okay? So try with the belt grip. When you don't get the underhook, improve your position on bottom, and then we go further to different situations for the sweeps later on. Okay? 1, 2. Hier ist noch eine Lücke. Die darf nicht da sein. Das muss wirklich so tight sein, dass er das nicht mal groß runterdrücken kann. So there was one last question that could be maybe interesting for everybody. The moment when I bring in the hand, when I do that, I think it's ideal to do that when the guy on top is still posting on his hands because you have a lot of momentum. So there's space to get the hand in, and the moment he sits back, your hand is already hidden. But it takes time because there's so many things you bring together. As I told you, it took me almost 2 years not to get submitted directly. So don't.
Can you grab anything with that hand?
You can grab your own hip if the guy's pressing or working for it, or you can grab the material or the belt to improve the grip.
If you push, but not in, like, you don't go in into the
No.
palms or...
I do it so fast that normally there's no space, and I can just lay it on my hip. But if I see the guy's really strong, be going for it, then I grab the pant or improve the grip on my own thigh. But it's very important just to get it in fast and don't give the underhook, like in many, many other positions. Okay. So now I want to give you some other ideas. Just in case you go to competition or you like to be successful in sparring, then it's of course good to get in your most favorite position very fast and very easy. So if it's deep half guard, it's good to have an entry from almost everywhere when you're defending. So I will show you 2 situations which work for me, just for an example. And then later on it's up to your game, if you like deep half, that you find other situations where you can establish it. My game is mostly influenced on Bernardo Faria. He was in Germany for like 2 times, 2 weeks in 2010 and 11, and we worked a lot on that. And later on it was like Leo Nogueira, same team, some years later. So yeah, if you look up the videos from these guys, it's almost very similar. Okay. So the first situation I want to show you, I think we do it from this direction. Paddy will do the butterfly sweep on me. So there are moments where you feel he has a good grip. I will fall, I can avoid the sweep. There's no more chance to bring the leg, to bring this or this hand. Then I go with the sweep, but I try to like scramble for the position on bottom immediately. So to get the deep half with the sweep, it's important your hand is not on the outside. Probably you can avoid the sweep like that. So if he just puts his grips and you see that you can't post it, then I bring my hand to the inside. Paddy's going for the sweep. I fall, I bring the hand, I directly do the roll to the deep half. If he stays too high, I can go out, but he directly will go back and my hand is already in. So we have the same position. Of course, he gets points for that, but he does not get kesagatame or mount or something, and I'm in a comfortable position for myself. Defensive but comfortable. Okay, we do it once again. If you're not familiar with the butterfly sweep, I will help you by going around. So Paddy has a position, he has already underhook, he has a good grip on my elbow, so I cannot post the hand. I pull and establish the position. Okay. Just as one example that you can the position from somewhere else, even when it's almost too late to create something. Okay, try this out please, then I give you one more possibility, and then we go for like attacking. 1, 2. Yeah. Yeah, he gives you the space. So if there's space, go out. You won't get points for the sweep. Und you can attack maybe the bag or attack the turtle. Ja, ja. Wenn die Hand außen ist, kannst du immer auch sagen, hey, so don't worry if this was kind of weird. This should just be an example, and if you don't get swept off in a butterfly or you're not familiar with it, it's pretty hard. Just an example where you maybe can establish it. So I just told her that maybe you have your favorite way to go there from a different opportunity. So one more position we have a look at before we start sweeping is mount position. I think mount position should be familiar with everyone. So we do like a mount escape where I create the space to pull him into my deep half. Let's say he's already in a very strong mount. He has maybe a cross face with this hand. Then the direction where I can move is only over there because my head's completely pinned. I try to bring both hands on his hip and I try to stretch this leg. Stay on the bottom. Yeah. Maybe I need a little bridge to turn my hip, just a little, to catch his foot over here. That's all I want. Okay? So I don't go completely to the half guard. I just try to catch his foot and put it over here. Maybe you need a little bridge, maybe you're flexible, you don't need it. So the next thing is to bring the top hand under his thigh, so inside here. So wait for the right moment, but there's not too much weight from him going this direction, then I bump him forward, get the hand in, and then I pull myself towards him and I walk with my feet. So I establish deep half guard once again. It's much better than to be in his mount or to be in a half guard with a strong cross face. See? One more time. Yeah. Okay. Cross face shouldn't be a problem. I just want to stretch the leg, grab the heel, then bump him forward to dig in my hand, and then I pull him towards me and I walk with my feet and establish the deep half again. Okay. This usually takes like 30 seconds to a minute, and it's a little fight for it, but it's much better than just to stay in mount. Okay. The person on top now shouldn't be too heavy, so the other guy can move and start to get it correctly, and then you can make yourself heavier. And then try it out in a sparring. Okay, one more time? We're happy with that. One more time. So, knee the hands on the hip. And depending on his weight, Paddy is a lightweight, I need maybe the hip bump to bring my hip to the side so I can catch the foot. Then one more little bump, and then I go down with the hip again, walk in my hand, walk to the left side, pull his hip down, and directly hide this arm again. Then I can make this grip a little better. So my head is high, my arm is inside, and the feet are kind of loose, as you like it. Okay? So, 1, 2, right up.
There's no weight on you. Come out. No, you just stay facing away. Yeah, as soon as you turn towards me, so if you turn your shoulders towards me, this thing gets really difficult, and then bump again.
So, some guys of you had problem to get the hand in with just one bump. So what is very helpful, instead of doing one big bump, 10 little small bumps. Like you go on a railroad, tak, 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 and the hand goes in millimeter by millimeter. That's what I meant when I said it needs some time, like 30, 60 seconds to go to deep half. Does not have to be with one shot. So instead of one bump, you can do like 10 small bumps, or the mount is 10. So now for the sweeps, try to establish the position in whatever way you like. I gave you some opportunities. If you like to do it in a different way, no problem. Just watch out for your top hand, watch out for your head position, and then we start sweeping. Okay? Very basic sweep in the beginning where we use the guy's lapel, which we can take out or can already be outside, and then we see some situations what happens if. Okay? So, I go for the position. When I feel comfortable, then I try to get out the lapel from his belt. I always control the space between my armpit or my elbow and my upper body. And whenever I feel that he's attacking my arm, I get it in again. But he won't put in his jacket. Maybe now I can grab it from this side, maybe this hand helps. Take your time for that. Don't get Kimura before. Okay? So when you have the lapel, give it to your hand, and then wait for the moment you feel his weight is not too much over there. If it's too much over there, I can still push in this direction and go for the back. But the sweeps we do today are this direction. So when he's on top of me, I just go for a regular bridge. And now it's up to you to feel where his hip is powerful. You can step over the knee, switch your grip a little, and go for an over-under pass. Or when you feel his hip is more to this side, you can just grab the lapel, stack him, and do the stack pass in the other direction. So this depends on his behavior. Okay? One more time. Have a strong half. Set up your underhook or back grip. Create momentum. And then roll. There's the lapel. Take time to give it to the left hand again. And then you do a strong bridge. That's the moment where I open my feet and there's no time for him to take the leg out. Okay. So strong bridge to my right side. Come up. Maybe you directly want to grab the lapel. Get a good hand grip. And go for a strong stack press. For example, you can go to the over-under as well. One more time, we want to try.
One more.
One more. Back grip. Now, keep your elbows tight while handing over the lapel. Then I get a feeling if his weight is in the right position, and then you start a strong bridge to your right. Maybe you step over, get an over-under grip. Pressure with your shoulder, step over, and do the over-under pass. Okay, then 1, 2.
Den kommer kunna vandra ut. Däremot om du har...
You're over.
Okej, vad kunde man
So the next situation is very, very similar. So you get some more repetitions for this bridge sweep. Only thing will change is that I don't get his lapel now, but I go for his arm. Yeah? There are different situations how I can get the arm. Sometimes it's a grip to my knees that I can take off. Sometimes it's his hand defending the lapel grip. When I see his hand to grab it, it depends. Yeah? But mostly you can see where his hand is, or you know where his hand is going So my second hand is waiting to grab his sleeve, and then I go for the same sweep, just taking the arm, which makes the pass in the end much easier, because I get a strong cross face. Let's see what I mean. Establish the position first. For example, he's grabbing my knee. Just grab some material. Yeah. This prevents me from doing a strong bridge. You see? Maybe you have the chance to get the sleeve and break the grip. So it's not hard to find this hand. Then I give the hand back to my right arm. And like we did with the lapel, I now give it back to my left. Establish the position again. Feel his weight on top of me, and when it's a good moment, then I do the bridge. And now I like to step over here. Switch the sleeve grip again, so he mostly cannot defend the cross face over here. Switch the hip with the back step, come back on top. Christian has an awesome class in Copenhagen about control positions, about 5 points. And at least you should have 3 to get a good control. When you go here, it's like 2. I let go, I have 1, and immediately you should get another grip. So this and this direction is blocked, and you have 2 control points. If it's just 1, I would recommend to change the position and do a transition. Just nice throw on top, okay? But look up Christian's class about it, it's really great. So another example, how you get the sleeve. Feel good again?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, so sometimes I just go for the lapel here, and he's grabbing for my hand. And I take the sleeve, bring 4 fingers in, please. And then just turn your knuckles. So now it's very, very strong. And if Paddy's pulling back, do that, please. Any direction, do it strong. It's not, if I just stay with it, it's no effort for me to keep the grip. Then I switch again, and we go for the same bridge sweep. Step over, change the grip, give him some nice dreams, go to side control. Okay, so same sweep, different grip. And other ways where you find the hand. Just be patient. Let's try, 1, 2.
Det är din erste.
Oder halt ein Backstep.
Then try to pass on this side where you have his hand, because he can't defend.
Okay, and jetzt?
So, close to the end. I want to give you an idea what to do when you can't get rid of this knee grip, which if he gets a lot of material will be very, very strong, which helps him to stay in balance and to avoid the bridge. So there are some possibilities. We have a look at 2 of them. Okay? First of all, when he's doing this, I take my time to work this, because he's not blocking. He's worrying about the position, so I establish this grip first. Now it's depending a little bit on what option he's giving me. If I'm able to catch his feet over here and lift it up and get my left hook under, then I can do the bridge with just 1 foot, and the other hook is helping me to elevate him. And then it's the same like this first lapel sweep we did. But you already saw that my feet were slippy and had some problems to get the hook in, so maybe we need a second option if you can't establish this hook on the left side. So we go to the puff. Here's a strong grip on the knee. I already maybe tried to break it off, but it's not possible. So I establish a strong grip with the lapel and get in good position with my head as well. If you can't lift him up here, or if you can't get in your left hook, then I try to get a second grip on the lapel. Walk with my head a bit more to the belly, That's, I think, what Bernardo Faria calls a deep half guard. And from here, I just do a hip swing. So in this second situation, to make the swing work very good, I try to get more control about this leg. So my head is walking a little to the middle of the belly. Maybe I can even put my ear on this side of the thigh. Takes some time. And then when I have a good control here, I have 2 grips on the sleeve. That's when I start the swing sweep, where I don't need to put my feet on the floor. See it both one more time, and then you can try it. You have like 5 minutes to go. Okay, strong lapel, strong knee grip. I can lift it up. I get my hook. Before that, establish a lapel grip. And then you have a little bridge with that, but your hook is helping you to lose balance. And then it's up to you. Pass this guard. That's number 1. And with number 2, I tried to bring my head a little bit more to his belly, establish a second grip, so I'm very close to his right thigh. And I initially start with my right leg to swing. And I have a good control of this complete leg, and then I pop here. Okay. What I call the swing sweep.
In that position, it's all about the leg, all right? So if you lose, or if he gets his leg out, that doesn't work any longer, yeah?
It's hard to get out the leg. You see, I had hard to work to keep control over the whole leg. Sometimes it's only hard to get the hook in to do this first little bridge. But I try to get more control over his leg and his hip by bringing my head to the middle. That's it. And then I go for the sweeps. Last but not least, and then you have like 5 minutes left, I give you one option to the other direction when you cannot completely give this arm to the other side. So I finish all my techniques in 1 hour. Good. For the situation where I can loosen up this grip, but I don't manage to get a second grip here because he's hiding his hand somehow, or his base is more to this direction. Then I grab the elbow and go for the Kimura sweep in this direction. Now I don't have to change the hands again because his sleeve is already in my right hand. I can grab for his head, step out, and establish side control. Okay. So what is missing to the other technique is that I don't give the hand back again, the sleeve, but instead I grab to his upper elbow, do a Kimura, which forces him to fall to the other side. Do it 1 more time, and then you can choose which techniques you will try in the last minutes. Okay? Ask me, of course. So I am here. I managed to get his hand. Somehow he's now sitting very deep, or he is pulling his elbow up, so I can't get the hand. Then I go for his elbow, pull it down, and do the bridge in this direction. And then you see I can directly put the cross phrase on him. Last idea, so you don't get bored. 5 more minutes. Give me some questions. 1, 2.
First grip. In the other hand here, good. No, other hand. This way. No, other hand. And good grip.
Well, so sorry, but I think we have it on video, so look it up. And if you have any further more questions, don't be shy to ask. And now it would be very happy to have a group picture together, and then let's go to open mat and have some beers. Sounds good? 1, 2. Let's go.